Hi, my name is DeLancy. I'm the founder of Voter Integrity Project and the driving force behind votechecker.org, a new website designed to help citizen auditors by empowering them with the tools they need and the knowledge they need in order to clean up the voter roll. As you might have heard, North Carolina was unable to get a law passed that would have required voters to provide ID when they go in to exercise their right to vote. Sadly, with that law not on the books, it allows fictitious people and even dead people to have their identity stolen and to have votes stolen. In other words, your vote gets stolen when someone illegally steals a vote. So citizen auditors are pretty much our last chance to stop this or prevent this from happening in a systematic, fraudulent sort of way. Now, there are some technological requirements I have to go into really quickly here, and that is 2007 or newer is what your computer needs to be. You need to have a preferably something that can run Microsoft Office 2007 or newer. And there's some reasons for that. It also has to be a 64-bit computer. You cannot use an older 32-bit computer for this. So as a general rule, 2007 or newer on the computer and 2007 or newer on the software, and you should be fine. Now, what we will provide at this site is we'll provide links to state database, to public data that you may download, and by downloading it, we will show you what to do with it once you download it, and we need you to apply your local knowledge to the voter roll to make sure there are no fictitious people or even dead people still on the voter roll in your community. If they are on the voter roll, watch them carefully because they better not be voting. Now, the way we'll do that, I use an example here of a lady named Joan. See, Joan registered to vote in 2007 absentee. Then she voted that year by an overseas absentee ballot. 2008, she did it again. She voted, she didn't register again, but she voted again, absentee ballot overseas. And in 2012, she requested an overseas ballot to her Canadian address. And we were able to learn about it because another lady named Mrs. Foley actually lived at the address that Joan was claiming to be her own address. So Mrs. Foley had built a house in 1959 on a vacant lot and had lived there all of her life. Her children grew up there. And in 2004, suddenly this lady named Joan appears, about the same age as Mrs. Foley, I might add, and Joan appears on the voter roll living at that address. So when Mrs. Foley, 12 years later, when Mrs. Foley finally found out about it, she was able to help intercept it. That's poor math on my part. It was really 8 years. But anyway, she found out and was able to get Joan's ballot suspended. Now, Joan could still vote if she provides another address, but I promise you we will be watching to see what address she chooses, and we will research that further to make sure that Joan really did live there and really got her address right this time. But on the other hand, there are numerous cases across this country, including in North Carolina, where activists have abused the 1993 National Voter Registration Act, or Motor Voter as they call it, abused that law to load fictitious people onto the voter roll. This bothers us. We wonder why they're doing it. What do they have in mind? And then someone like Joan pops up, and we fear that they may have succeeded in loading people all across the state on these voter rolls and just trusting that no one will catch them. But the good news is all the data is public. The bad news is I need you to help me find if those people are registered illegally. And the way you do that is by following the instructions we will provide on other videos at this site that you'll see. We'll show you how to download the data from the state election board. We'll show you how to set it up in your Excel file, and then to sort on your address, sort on the address of loved ones, sort on the address of your neighbors even. And make sure, if you see someone whose name looks odd, you contact the people you know who live at that address and say, do you know this odd person? And if they don't know that odd person, you may have grounds for a challenge. And if you do, we will certainly, there will be a link on our site to download a form and fill it out and submit it to your election board. And that'll put the election board on notice that this particular voter that you're challenging will need to prove a little bit more identity before their vote will count. And it's you have to do it with purpose. You can't just run through there and just start challenging people. You have to be cooperative, knowledgeable, and accurate. So we will train you in all that, but we have to make sure that you understand our intent is to make sure there are no stolen votes in this election or in any other election. Because every time a stolen vote happens, that means the legitimate vote of an honest person gets canceled. And so we don't like that. We don't like illegal voters. We don't like stolen votes. We don't like stolen elections. And we hope you'll join us in that effort to become a citizen auditor and help us fight this good fight. Thank you.